All right. Okay, so we're back. What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica. Everybody, you know how many people have sent me memes of something similar, saying like, okay, here's one. Don't open your mouth for BBC and keep it closed on black issues. And then somebody else, I got that twice. And then I see another one said, don't open your mouth for BBC, but keep it closed for black issues. This is on the back of a white woman. girl. 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 Yeah, so there's a lot going on in the world today. Virgil Abiloh of Off-White, who I guess used to work for Louis Vuitton, he used to be a friend of Kanye West. He donated. He's very wealthy, and people are donating. People are making donations to different organizations during this time, which, if you can and you're able, I think it's a great thing to do. Make a donation. Everything helps these people who are out here, who are taking risk, to fight against and to make their voices heard, visually for us. It's only right to kind of give a little where you can, here and there, if you can. And if you're able, whatever you're able to do, you know what I'm saying? It's just whatever you're able to do, however you're able to contribute to the cause, you know what I'm saying? But Virgil Abloh, he donated $50 to some organization and screenshotted it and shared it with the world. Girl, why would you share? You are a millionaire. Why would you share? At least, bitch, add a couple of zeros. Why would you share why would you do that? You knew that people was going to tear you up. You knew they was going to tear your butt up. Let me get them to my tweets. We can talk about what's going on the Twitters. The Stephen Jackson situation, a lot of people were like not happy. Why are you bringing that up? They weren't happy with that. And that's something that that is the reason why I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Black women are marching and being shot in the head by rubber bullets. Meanwhile, black kings are cozying up with Becky and consoling her for being traumatized. You see why I reserve my energy from the start? I may be messy, but I'm never wrong. And this is from Golden Girl. I shared her tweets the other day when she was talking about Stephen Jackson and his 0 degrees of separation to George Floyd, the man who met his demise at the hands of what Stephen Jackson, his close friend, said was not as bad as black women. And I think a lot of people are upset because that, why are you talking about that? Why are you all of those things actually have everything to do with one another, right? It's the irony that this man just a few months ago made these awful statements about bitter black women, right? And we know that the word bitter is often attached to a woman who is expressing herself, who has things to say, who delivers information with passion. We get called bitter, we get called angry, we get called all of these things when we're just simply expressing ourselves or expressing grievances about situations and things that have happened at the hands of or in exchange with a black man. And the irony that this man has these awful things to say about black women, but less than 3 months later, you have a black woman, Tamika Mallory, yelling to the top of her lungs, telling the American government to get their shit together, while you, Stephen Jackson, are standing behind the gatekeeper of your culture, the one that you said is worse than a cop, and she's standing here and you're standing behind her with your head down. I do believe it's ironic. For that to have hit so close to you, and then for your words to have been that, and then to turn around and for this man to be engaged to a white woman, and for that white woman to come out and say, give the cops grace. While Tamika Mallory is standing here hollering and screaming for your friend. For your friend. And it's funny because this girl, she just posted just 15 hours ago an image of Stephen Jackson consoling a white woman, consoling her, hugging her. She's traumatized. She has to go through so much in this world. She needs consoling, Black King. It's funny to me. It's funny to me. Happy Pride Month. I did say that yesterday, right? Did I say that yesterday? Was a riot, okay, at the Stonewall. And it was started by a Black trans woman and a Latinx woman, trans woman. Just letting you know. These riots and these organizations and these movements for inclusivity and to be treated equal, have a lot of these organizations are started by women, trans women, Black women, brown women, Black and brown trans women. Is just how it goes. A lot of these organizations. So the irony that you believe that the Black woman is a detriment to the rise of the Black man more than a cop, and less than 4 months later, this is what comes to your world. This is what comes to your realm. A reminder. A reminder. You have to be reminded. Let me remind you that no, sir, the Black woman is not the demise of the Black man. In fact, she is the gatekeeper of your culture. And if you don't get your shit together and stop acting like just because you have a penis that you automatically have a right to lead, you are sorely mistaken, and you're going to continue to be on this road where your necks are being broken by pigs. And then you wanting the same women that you vilify and hate so much to stand up for you and scream for you. And this is why so many Black women are minding their own business this time around. Not down to YouTube hollering and screaming in a video viewfinder. That's why a lot of people are just like, and then to add insult to injury, this Black man, his white fiance, gets on TV and says, give grace to the people who just murdered her black dick, her big black cock. Give grace to them. I was on IG looking at I live in Sacramento, and Sacramento is the home of the interracial relationship. Home of the interracial, honey. They love a non-Black woman here. A non-Black. They love her. They love them, honey. There was this guy, this Black dude. He always has non-Black women around him. And I believe he's African. He has a lot of non-Black women around him. And he's in his car, right? And I'm looking at his IG story. He's in his car. And he comes, I guess he comes off the highway or whatever. And it's a bunch of cops just like lined up. And he said, man, look at these MF. He's cussing them out. Like, look at these. And they ready to do something to somebody. Fuck these motherfuckers and all this other stuff, right? And then you hear this white voice in the background. And she's sitting in the car. And she says, I have it. She says, don't sue me, but I actually like cops. Let me see if you can hear it.
They ready to stamp something, you bitch ass niggas.
I actually like, okay, don't fucking sue me, but I actually like cops, okay?
But I actually like cops, okay? I actually like cops, okay? I actually like cops, okay? And you see the stark difference. You in this car with this woman, and here it is, this black man, and how when he looks at the cops, what he sees and how he speaks of them, and what she sees and how she speaks of them. So when the time comes, a lot of women just have a Pavlov's response, right? Because at the end of the day, patriarchy is rooted in protecting the legacy of the man. So it does not matter. Right? It does not matter what he's done. It doesn't matter what, just like with Nipsey Hussle when he died and somebody said something to Lauren London, and it wasn't about Lauren, it wasn't about protecting Lauren London, it was about protecting Nipsey's property, right? The same with when Kobe died and Gail asked Lisa Leslie that question. It was, okay, no, protect the legacy of this black man. Don't ask any questions, no matter if whether the timing of the question, we're not going back there, whether the timing of the question was off or not. The energy behind that was protect the legacy of this man, right? Why are you guys going after Harvey? Why aren't you guys going after Harvey Weinstein? Why are you doing this? Why? And then Rodney made a great point yesterday. How in the world do you guys call Oprah and Gail all of these awful things just for asking questions or asking other black men to hold themselves accountable, Russell Simmons, right? But then call them dog faces and all of these awful things. Everybody everywhere is not going to be 100% likable, right? Oprah is not 100% likable. Neither is Gail, neither is Snoop, neither is 50 Cent, neither is anybody that we talk about, right? But when you come out and you say, you dog face, you woman, you F you, why don't you talk about Harvey Weinstein? At the end of the day, the goal of these black men is to protect the legacy of black men. So that's why a lot of black women this time around are minding their own business. You guys, since you guys want to stand up and protect the legacy of a black man so much that you will, to the point where you are calling people, black women who are holding these black men accountable or asking questions about their past, you're mad at them. Because you want them to have respect for these black men, that you vilify these women. But now when this black man got his neck broke by a cop and 4 cops laying on his lungs, not allowing him to breathe to where he dies, right? They murder him. Now you want these same black women to now stand up and talk against the police or speak against the system? No, look somewhere else to get that voice. You silenced those women. You wanted them to be quiet. You didn't want them to ask about Kobe. You didn't want them to ask about Russell Simmons. You didn't want them to ask about any R. Kelly. You didn't want them to ask about black men who have possibly been violent, who have allegedly been violent with black women. But when somebody is violent to him, now you want somebody to say something. That's not how, and I think a lot of people are really coming into that understanding, into that awakening, like, okay, no, I don't have to spend my emotional labor on this. There's enough people who will do that. And there are some people who just, like some women who just have a Pavlov's response to protecting black men. No, oh no, what, he died. Yes, he died. Yes, and we understand police brutality and we understand all of that stuff. But there are some voices that, because of the way that you tried to silence them when they were trying to hold a black man accountable, you have silenced those voices. So now when it's time to speak up for those, because in the same way that it's like don't hold black men accountable because of all of the things that happen to them in this society. But now we're understanding it's not just happening to black men, right? So there's also the legacy of, if you want to call us black people, whatever you want to call us, whatever term that you use to identify yourself as copper colored, indigenous, black, African American, whatever you want to call yourself, however you identify, okay? When you start to say we're only protecting the legacy of black men, because Breonna Taylor was killed in her home. Corinne Gaines, she was killed in her home by cops. And when Corinne Gaines was killed, her black man partner jumped out of the window and ran to safety while she was in a standoff with law enforcement. And black men called her all kind of awful names. She was a bad mother. She put her children in danger. All of a sudden they became law-abiding citizens. Why didn't she just go out? Why didn't she just surrender? Right? Breonna Taylor, ain't nobody really saying nothing about that. The two other women that they found in under the underpass in Rome, Georgia, two black women with bags over their heads. They found them in an underpass in Rome, Georgia. Now, I think what it is, what people don't understand, or what happens is when it's the cops as the perpetrator or the murderer or whatever, when the cop actually commits the crime, that's when everybody wants to stand up. Breonna Taylor was killed by cops. Corinne Gaines was killed by cops. And nobody said anything about Breonna Taylor. And when I understand how, when they're like, okay, it's the crime was committed at the hands of, another civilian, right? I understand how you could say, like, that's probably the reason why people don't get up in arms, because when it's a cop, the role of the cop is supposed to be such and such. It never has been. I don't understand why. Those are taglines. Those are ways to, those are selling points, right? It's not real. The inception, if you do your history on why cops, they were slave patrols, right? And to me, I feel like they're still doing those, they still operate under that same mission, right? All of these things that we're seeing, the way cops are behaving, kicking people in stomachs and stuff like that. But when cops do things to black women, nobody really says anything. And like I said, when black women are holding black men accountable, you want to silence them. But when the black man is on the other end of a murder at the hands of a cop, you want us to say something. I think once and for all, there are a lot of people who are just like, you want me to be quiet? I'm going to be quiet. Actually, I'm going to take the advice of this black man's white fiance and well, I don't think I can ever give cops grace, but you can see that's the type of energy she has, right? And that's just what it is. It's what it is. Truvinia Campbell and Vanita Richardson were found underneath a bridge in Rome Wednesday morning last week. Investigators said a crew of Georgia Department of Transportation spotted the bodies of the women on the banks of the Etowah River beneath the bridge and the East Bypass. They were just in high school. They had bags over their heads. So we don't know what's going on, but nobody has said anything. Nobody has said anything about it. There's not an uproar. I mean, and then like I said, I could understand when it's a civilian on a civilian, how maybe people are not, because that's my thing, like maybe there's not, okay, it's a civilian against another civilian. When a cop does it, we should have a different energy, right? Because that's not their role, right? We understand that people are going to kill people. That's just life. But when a cop does it, there's a different energy, right? But cops kill black women too. And the energy that is happening today for this man, it does not happen for black women. I think like I just said, I think a lot of people are just being quiet at this point. I don't understand why Rush Limbaugh was on the Breakfast Club. I don't think that that's somebody that you can actually give a platform to. I don't think he deserves a platform the way he's been very violent towards black people. And he's not somebody that you give a platform to, and not even under the same energy as, well, we got to sit down with each other and have a conversation. No, that man is on his deathbed on his way out. You don't need to have a conversation with Rush Limbaugh, of all people. He's never been for black people. He's never acted like he's for black people. He's always been violent, and his words have been violent. It's not somebody that you give a platform to. What else is going on? What else? What else, honey? Henny? What else, Henny? And there was a white woman in another white woman in New York who called the cops on a black woman. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I can't find it. It's gone now. Somebody tagged me in it the other day, and I wish I could find it. Dang. I don't know where it is. It was a white woman calling the cops on a black woman, and then saying that she was scared. How you scared and you just sitting there and you so terrified and scared? Why you ain't fled the scene, lady? Why haven't you left if you so goddamn scared? If you so frightened and scared and, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why are you still standing here with your arms crossed, calm? People who cross their arms are not in a position. They're not scared. You don't cross your arms when you're scared. That don't work. You don't stick around the person and say that they're pulling the black card. They're saying that I'm calling because they're girl. I see white people. It's so funny because white people believe like they have this, I don't know, where they think like you shouldn't be standing there, you shouldn't be over there, but then let a black man tell a white woman to put your leash on a dog. Now all of a sudden you don't have to abide by the rules and you could just call the cops so they can come kill him and get him out of your way, because who is he to tell me to put a leash on my damn dog? I'm done talking, y'all. I'm just saying, that's all I had to say about it. A lot of people want the black ladies to say stuff, but when you silence them when they're trying to hold black men accountable, because that's how things work. We hold each other accountable and we support each other. That's a balance. I'm not going to just let you be out here, be violent and commit violence against black women and little girls, and then turn around and be like, yay, let me protect the legacy of a black man, but you told me to be quiet when I was trying to hold the black man accountable for inciting violence in the community. And Snoop Dogg, he posted a picture of these black men who were protecting this cop. The cop was separated from his unit like he was fucking Bambi or something. And the black men stood around him to protect him so he wouldn't get jumped and get his ass beat. And even what did Snoop say? Even in the midst of hate, we still are able to show love, or some craziness like that. What? You showing love, Mr. 187, on a motherfucking cop? This is what you doing? Posting pictures of other black men protecting a cop because he was separated from his unit. Poor little girl. Not that he doesn't have a taser, a baton, a gun, a fucking a bullet, a fucking bomb launcher, a grenade launcher. But you black men with no armor, no nothing, you're protecting this. Girl, if y'all don't get your weak asses, y'all be the weakest link, really. And that's why y'all need black women. Let me shut up. Yeah, be shut up. People get mad. And it's so funny because, ooh, these are pretty. I'm really trying to find me a nice piece of jewelry to buy. I've been really looking. I really want to. Let me bookmark this. But yeah, so that's all I have to say about that, child, honey. I said, Snoop, well, you got all this, you got love for the cops. You ain't got no love for the West Coast? You ain't got no love for the West Coast? You got love for the cops, but got all the vitriol and all the energy for an old ass 70-year-old Gayle King. She's a dog face bitch. But you posted, let me find Snoop Baby. He posting pictures of these black men protecting. Let me read you what the caption said. Here we go. Black men shielded an officer who was separated from the rest of his unit. Love always beats hate. That's what Snoop Dogg, Calvin Brodus, that is what his caption says. But because Gayle King asked about a black man and his past after his death, she gets dog-faced bitch. But this gets, oh, love always over hate. You just, going through the damn field with your daisy and your blue rags, just skipping, crip walking through the daisies, huh? Girl, y'all get on my damn nerves. I gotta go. Anyways, that's all I had to say about what was going on in the news. I know we wanted to talk about it a little bit. I know it's probably not what y'all like, but I'm with the rest of them. I'm minding my business, giving to where I need to give, but the elevated tones and the blood, the veins and all the veins and the girl. Let's pretend and say I did. I got the same energy as Snoop Dogg. It's love. I got the same energy as George Floyd's fiance. It's grace. Love and grace, honey. Love and grace. Y'all on your own with that. On some real live shit. Y'all on your own with that. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. Protect the gatekeepers of the community. Protect the women who stand up and who getting shot in the head. Protect them when it's time. But like I said, we got examples to show what the real is. See y'all in the comments.